If you're trying to build wealth over the next decade, one of the biggest questions is simple. Where can your money still grow meaningfully before the crowd actually catches on? Because savings alone probably won't get most people there. Property may not move the way it used to. And by the time the average person finally hears about the next major wealth cycle, the people who understood it early have usually already made the easiest money. So when some of the biggest players in finance start preparing for a future where money, assets, and banking actively move on blockchain rails, it's worth paying attention. Not because you need to become a crypto person, because you need to know whether this is where the next serious opportunity is forming. And this week, Ethereum gave us one of the clearest clues yet, not through price, through what is being built behind the scenes before most people are even looking. So in this video, I'll show you what changed, why serious institutions are paying attention, and the signal most investors may miss until it's already obvious. And for those of you who don't know, I'm Jonathan. I've spent over 10 years in markets, moving from stocks into crypto in 2019. Since then, my team and I have helped thousands of people be able to navigate this space through online education and live events. There are plenty of places out there that tell you the news, but my goal here is very different. My goal here is to bridge the gap between what's happening now and how we're navigating it without needing to become the expert yourself. And now, quick disclaimer, this content is general information only and does not constitute financial advice. It does not take into account your personal objectives, financial situation, or needs. Always do your own research before making any financial decisions. So what is Ethereum actually doing? It has a name, Lean Ethereum. And on paper, it looks like the most boring thing in the world. Recursive Stark proofs, quantum-resistant cryptography, privacy built into the base layer. It's the kind of words that make most investors' eyes slide straight off the screen. But don't let them, because buried under that dead language is one of the most revealing decisions a major network has ever made. Strip the jargon away, and here's exactly what Ethereum says. Ethereum is rebuilding itself to be faster, dramatically cheaper, more private, and this is the one that should stop you, resistant to quantum computers. Computers powerful enough to break cryptography, protecting every wallet on the network. Computers that by most estimates don't exist yet and may be years away. Sit with that. The most important smart contract network on Earth just made a strange decision. It's pouring years into defending against a threat that doesn't even exist yet. A machine that in a single stroke could pick the lock on every wallet on the network at once and unravel the cryptography the whole thing stands on. Think about what it means that the people who understand this technology better than anyone alive are urgently bracing for something most of the market has never once thought about. Boutron has been open that he thinks there's a real chance one shows up before the end of the decade, and that waiting until it does could be catastrophic. When the builders are racing to defend against a danger the crowd can't even see yet, the gap between what they're preparing for and what you're watching is the entire story. They're not reacting, they're pre-building. Years early on purpose. And here's the thing about that kind of decision. You don't spend 3 to 4 years and rebuild nearly every layer of a working system to win the next rally. That timeline outlasts any bull market. This isn't a network optimizing for the next price cycle. It's a network preparing for the next decade. And once you understand what it's preparing for, one specific word explains this entire market. What Ethereum's doing, what institutions are doing, all of it. And most people can't even name it yet. By the end of this, you'll be able to. And you won't watch a single headline the same way again. Hold that thought because we're about to earn it. Now, if this feels familiar, it should, because we have watched this exact thing play out before, and the last time, almost everyone got it wrong. Go back to the merge. This is the last time Ethereum rebuilt something this fundamental. It didn't happen in a boom. It happened in the wreckage of a brutal market, sentiment on the floor, headlines writing crypto's obituary. If you were watching the price, The story was obvious. This thing is finished. And while the crowd was busy holding a funeral, the builders were quietly shipping the biggest upgrade in the network's history. One group was watching a number fall. The other was rebuilding the engine. History was kinder to the second group. And this isn't a crypto quirk. It's the signature of every technology that ever mattered. The people who laid the internet's foundations did their heaviest work in the exact years the public had already written it off as a toy for nerds. Railways, electricity, the internet. Every single time, the crowd arrives for the mania and disappears in the boredom. And the boredom is precisely when the people who understand the thing put their heads down and build it. So here's what the timing is actually telling you. The market is asking one question. What is it worth today? The builders are asking a completely different one. What will this need to survive 10 years from now? Right now, those two questions are pointing in opposite directions. And if history is any guide, that gap is not a warning sign. It's the signal. Being early has always felt like being alone. That's not a glitch. That's what early feels like every time. Right up until the moment it feels obvious to everyone. Because here's the part that turns this from one team's roadmap into a signal. If Ethereum's builders were the only ones acting like the future is bigger than the price, you could dismiss it, but they're not. This week, Tom Lee's company BitMine reportedly bought another $71.5 million of Ethereum. Now, we made a whole video on why Lee turned so constructive on ETH. It's worth watching if you missed it. But here's what matters for this story. This wasn't a one-off. Lee has been accumulating Ethereum relentlessly for months, in chunks from 30 to over $100 million at a time all year round. BitMine now holds close to 5% of all the Ethereum that exists, most of it staked and working. And he didn't stop when the market fell out of love with Ethereum. He kept buying. Straight through a year, the price spent deeply out of favor, and straight through this week. That's the tell. That's not a trade on a catalyst or a bet on the next rally. That's someone buying the decade on the exact same long horizon Ethereum's engineers just committed the next 4 years to. The buyer and the builders are looking at the same distinct point. And he's not alone in acting early. A new non-profit launched this week with a single job: accelerating institutional adoption of Ethereum. Notice the timing. Not after a euphoric rally when it would have been easy, but now, while sentiment is still cautious. You don't build the on-ramp after the traffic arrives. You build it before, but only if you're certain the traffic is coming. And then the heaviest name of all. This isn't theoretical and it isn't even new, which is the exact point. JPMorgan, the largest bank in America, already put real dollars onto an Ethereum Layer 2 network. Not a stablecoin, not an experiment, actual bank deposits. The same dollars that sit in ordinary Chase accounts, now moving on a public blockchain anyone in the world can watch, with names like Coinbase and Mastercard already settling money across it. Picture that for a second. A 160-year-old Wall Street institution running its money on the same rails the crowd dismisses as a casino. And here's the part that should land the hardest. They didn't start just last week. JPMorgan has quietly been building towards this for years, long before it made headlines. When the most powerful bank on Wall Street has been laying track on Ethereum's rails since before most people were paying attention, that tells you where the serious money already believes this is going. Put those together: the biggest Ethereum buyer in the world, a purpose-built adoption engine, and the largest bank in America already live on Ethereum's infrastructure. And you don't have three disconnected headlines anymore. You have one message. The money, the infrastructure, and the plumbing are all being built at once, quietly, ahead of the crowd for a market that isn't fully here yet. So step back. Everything you've just seen, the rebuild, the buyer, the bank, has been circling one idea, and there's a single word that names it. So here's the word I promised you. The word is utility. For most of the last decade, this market was about ownership. You bought an asset because you expected it to be worth more later. It was the land you sat on, hoping the price of the plot went up. That's the phrase everyone still has in their head. But the thing being built right now is a different phase entirely. Not the land you hold, roads you use. A network people move real money across, settle real assets on, run real financial activity through every single day whether the price is up or down. Ownership pays you if the crowd shows up later. Utility pays because the thing actually gets used. Those are two completely different markets, and only one of them needs a bull run to matter. And that is what every piece of this week has been pointing at. Lean Ethereum was never really a story about Starks and quantum computers. It's the story of a network that stopped building for the next rally and started building for the next system, a world that doesn't even exist yet, with the biggest buyer on earth and the largest bank in America quietly betting it's right. None of it makes sense as a bet on price. All of it makes sense as a bet on utility. And now that you can name it, look back at any headline from the last month. You'll see it everywhere. The price won't tell you any of this, and it was never going to. The people who only watch the price will be the last to understand why the ground moved under them. So here's where this leaves us. This week, you didn't watch price move. You watch foundations get poured. A network rebuilding itself for the next decade. The biggest buyer in the world loading up through the worst of the doom and gloom. The largest bank in America already live on the rails. None of it showed up on the chart. All of it is the ground shifting underneath the chart. So I'll leave you with one question, and I genuinely want your answer. Do you think this is the real turn? Crypto crossing from ownership into utility? Or do you think speculation stays the whole story and the builders are talking to themselves? Tell me in the comments, I read them. But know this while you decide. The people who saw the merge for what it was, while the market was busy calling crypto dead, were positioned long before everyone else understood why. The builders are telling you something again. The only question is whether you're listening this time. If this gave you a sharper way to read this market, subscribe. It's what we do here every week. I'll see you in the next one.